Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, this is a short little video, I hope. So I took out the Optima Super today. I was wanting to type a little blog piece on some of this newsprint paper that I've been playing around with. And I started noticing that a lot of the capital letters were cut off. They weren't printing properly, and I thought, I don't remember that problem before. Or maybe I did, and I just thought it was maybe the condition of the platen, or maybe the type bars were worn or something. And in the past, I kind of dismissed it. But now I was typing and I was thinking, you know what? This is a real problem. I think I need to look at it and figure out what it is. I started doing some tests, and sure enough, it started looking like maybe something with the ribbon. Maybe like the ribbon tension was not right. So let's look in here a little bit and see what I found. Stay tuned. So after looking at this problem for a while, what I noticed was that in the shifted position, when you try typing a letter, the ribbon has to raise up higher than it would in any other mode. What was happening is the left-hand ribbon spool had excessive tension on it only at a certain point in its revolution. And you could see the ribbon tense up, and then when I tried typing capitals, the ribbon wouldn't lift up high enough and the tops of the letters would be cut off. And so I originally thought, well, maybe there's something with the mechanism underneath or the rotation of the spool or whatever, but no, it was actually simpler than that. The problem ended up being that this square rubber type bar rest that is in this U-shaped channel, it was slid over, sticking out of the channel far enough to be barely touching the bottom rim of the ribbon spool. And because there's a slight eccentricity to the rotation of the spool, only at a certain point in its rotation would this rubber bar rub against the spool and provide enough back tension to this spool that the ribbon wouldn't lift high enough. And so the fix was really simple. Obviously just pushing this rubber type bar rest back down, centered into its channel, so it's not threatening to rub on either of the ribbon spools. And after that, the machine typed perfectly. Well, this top line is the start of my test typing, and you notice on the left side of the line, the letters look like they're printing pretty good. And then as I get to the right side of the line, you notice they start to get cut off again. On the third line, you notice the capitals are actually printing quite nicely. And then all of a sudden, toward the right, the question mark starts to get cut off on the top. This is where I was thinking maybe it was something with the carriage of the platen wasn't squared up to the machine. But then as I continued to type more, I started seeing it happening elsewhere. Like here, down here with these L's on the left side of it. Of the line, they were cut off, and on the right side they seemed to be, well, then they came back and they started getting cut off again, and then all of a sudden they were good right here. So after I found the type bar rest was rubbing against the left ribbon spool, then I did a whole series of test typings down here, and you can see on this bottom line, of course, that the capitals are printing nice and even, no problem at all. And this was one of the blog articles I wrote afterwards, and I'm really happy I did because the imprint is really nice. I really like the typeface on this machine. It's all too easy for me to think of worst case scenarios when I'm posed with a problem that I don't really know the solution to yet. And I was thinking, well, maybe the platen shrunk a little bit due to the age, and so the type bars are not printing on the top, or maybe the on-feeder motion or both are not set right. I think, I don't know. Then as I was test typing, I was noticing one part of the line, like on the left side of the line, it looked like it was typing good, and then on the right side of the line, it was starting to cut off the letters. And then I started thinking, oh, what if the carriage isn't squared up properly, like maybe crooked this way or front to back or something? And then I thought, that's terrible. That would be some weird problem with the bearings or the carriage rails or something weird. So I'm always thinking like worst case scenario. I don't know. It turned out to be a really stupidly simple problem. The rubber type bar rest was pushed out of its bracket, rubbing up against the left-hand ribbon spool, and what a simple problem. And this is just another example of don't ever assume the problem is as worse as it could be. It could be something really simple. It's really worth taking a look first before you go off the rails and think, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to get someone to work on this or whatever. No, just use some common sense and look at the problem and see, how does it supposed to work? It's supposed to lift the ribbon up high enough when it's typing capitals to clearly print the entire letter, and it's not lifting the ribbon up high enough. Why is that? Ribbon tension. Back tension's too great on the ribbon. Well, that turned out to be a easy little fix, and I'm really pleased with that because I love the typeface on this machine, and that was one of the reasons why I bought it. It's a dark, nice dark inky typeface, not sloppy. It's really pretty, and it works really well even on this cheap newsprint paper. So there you go. Well, these manual typewriters, being mechanical, do require some maintenance occasionally, and so as responsible users and owners of typewriters, we should try to learn a little bit about how to keep them running. It's kind of our responsibility as owners. Even if you don't think of yourself as mechanically inclined, you should probably try and get a little confidence on working on these. It's certainly helped me over the years. But in the meantime, I wish you well, do good work, stay creative, have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye for now.